be ready to get back into our story. I'm in the rec room here, so it's half right now Hot Wheels City, half a little store that the boys have set up. Lots going on up here, but this is kind of a nice place that I found that Millie can stay occupied and I can read a chapter. You guys know that our next chapter is called Gelifen. Again, we kind of ended on a cliffhanger yesterday. The last sentence of the chapter that we just read is, or 2 sentences, what they saw was the worst thing of that terrible night. It was Gelifen. So our big question is, what's going on with Gelifen? So here we go. They had not, in the dark, seen the blood in his feathers. Mal ran to him where he lay on his side on the broad rim of the fountain. Gelifen, where are you hurt? She lifted him and cried out. Suddenly blood was everywhere, on her hands and on his wings. She swung herself over the rim of the fountain and knelt in the shallow water, cupping the water over the griffin's body so that she could find the source of the blood. Don't panic. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. But as Christopher leapt over the fountain edge, the creature's wings began to shake. Where's he hurt? Gently parted the feathers. The knife had cut the little griffin across the torso. It was deep. Torso, of course, is our tummy, chest area. Please don't die, Mal whispered to Gelifen. Her face, which could be so imperious, so miniature queen, fell in on itself. Please don't. I'll do anything. Please don't leave me here without you. This little creature really is her best friend. Christopher knelt beside her and tore at his shirt with his teeth wildly like an animal to make a bandage. A ragged piece ripped off. Here, he said, this will help. It will. It just needs... Together they fumbled with the cloth, and Christopher tied it tight, but it did not stanch the bleeding, and Gelifen's breath slowed and stuttered. Please, no, she whispered. Her hair fell over Gelifen's back as she bent over him. Please, breathe. The griffin lifted his head and laid it in the crook of Mal's elbow, and he inhaled her scent. Christopher bent his face to the griffin's face and whispered very low, and Gelifen lifted one wing and fluttered it for him, but he did not give his familiar... His eyes closed. Tears ran down Christopher's face and lips and chin and onto his hands, mixing with the blood. Gelifen was meant to grow large enough to shelter them under his wings in the rain. They had talked about it, him and Mal. His pulse was beating in his throat. A wave of despair and rage rolled over him. Gelifen, the world's most magical creature, the joy-bird, gave a rasping breath. Christopher stifled a cry. He whispered, his mouth dry, No, he's the last. Mal held Gelifen in her chest. A scar he had left on her cheek showed red in the lamplight. The world contracted around them. It was thus that Night Hand found them. Christopher kneeling next to Mal, the body of their most loved companion held between them. The fountain continued to play, and the water was red in the moonlight. It looked as though the world itself were bleeding for them. The last griffin died as the clocks struck the half hour, and the noise rang out like a death toll through the sleeping city. Here's the illustration of the friends holding the sweet griffin. So indeed, very, very sad. I think that is probably the worst thing that could happen to this sweet little creature. It's like our worst fear has happened. I'm wondering, and I wonder if you are too, if this will be another turning point for Mal. Do you think the death of her sweet little baby will inspire her to step into her role of the immortal? with that, do you think that she, as the immortal, could have any power to bring him back? What questions are you thinking after this very sad chapter? The next chapter is called The Worst Question, so I am very curious about what this next chapter holds. Again, a very low point in our story. Great stories are a roller coaster. We have high highs, we have low lows. So when we're thinking about the energy of the story, this is definitely a sad part. But continue asking your questions. Let's think about what could possibly happen next, and what this means for the rest of our story. Thanks for reading with me. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.